First of all, I always say, before I was, when I used to be a middle distance runner, I used to think people who ran 5Ks are crazy. And then I ran a 5K. And then I thought to myself, I'm never going to run a 10K. And then I ran a 10K. And then I thought I'd never ran a half marathon. I ran a half marathon. But then marathon was a distance that I always thought people run the marathon are crazy, and that was not my thing. But now it's happening, and I'm like, wait, is it really? So really trying to say is nothing is impossible. You know, if you set your mindset to achieving something will come to you. And you know, training for something is, you know, it's like standing up for something. You're like holding yourself accountable and saying, okay, I'm gonna go after this, and you prepare hard for that. It definitely will come true.
So start out, just tell me your name first and last.
My name is Benson Langat, Langat.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be doing something pretty special this weekend. What's going on?
Yep, I will be doing my real marathon this coming weekend in Des Moines, and so looking forward for that.
So you say your real marathon. Sounds like there's a little bit of a backstory to this. Tell me all about it.
I have a marathon that I wasn't quite satisfied yet. That was the Twin Cities Marathon. So what happened was I walked that marathon. So I have a 3:02 in that marathon and hoping to run a PR this weekend. So looking forward for that.
So now when you say you walk a marathon to 3:02, to some runners that's like, wow, a 3:02, that's amazing. Give us a little context. Tell me a little bit about your running history and where you come from and why this weekend means so much to you when you say your real marathon.
First of all, when I say my real marathon, is because I consider my Twin Cities Marathon from last year my first marathon that I walked. Basically, I ran the first half marathon really strong, but having to start in the second corral, I had to weave around people, you know, through aid stations. So I basically missed all of them. By the time I was starting to get to where I can actually hydrate, I was worn out. Like I started cramping up at mile 14, so I walked through mile 16, and I cramped up so bad. So I really had to jog, walk, sit at the the station for a while to get massage and that kind of stuff. So really made everything a little difficult for me. So I did not run the marathon to the finish line like I'm supposed to. And I actually from Kenya, and where I come from is like a lot of people they run, and you know, they do this for a living. So having to go there this weekend and, you know, try to run a real marathon, meaning you have to run the marathon knowing that you have to finish the marathon.
Yeah.
Not just walk, just run strong, finish strong.
Yeah, having everything go the way you want it to.
Yep, exactly.
So tell me a little bit about your training. How has your training this year been different than when you were getting ready for the Twin Cities Marathon?
First of all, starting this year, I had high expectations. I was hoping to run the LA Marathon this past spring. I ended up getting really sick, and I was not able to travel for that. And then I was getting ready for Grandma's half marathon, and then I got injured, and after that I started working with Coach Grant, and everything leading to this marathon has been going pretty good. So I'm looking forward for that. Training has been going as expected. Started a little slow a little bit, and then we build up, and so far so good. So looking forward for this weekend.
Sure. So you've been working here at 605 Running Company for about a year or so, but you've just now recently started working with Coach Watley. Mm-hmm. Tell me about what it was like to make that decision to go with Grant and work with him in your training plan.
Mm-hmm. I previously, before Coach Grant, I was working with Coach Jeff Becker, who's actually a coach down in New Mexico. He was actually the coach that got me to this country. He coached me, ran my personal best times with him. So I stuck with him for some time. And when I transferred to USD, I worked with Coach Fitzsimmons. And so it was a great experience. And when I went back to working with Coach Becker, he's out in New Mexico. So really having that coach who's around, he's a great coach. It's just like he's far away. And so when I started working with Coach Grant, it was a big decision for me, knowing that I'll have him around, and it's gonna, the training. He's very good with adaptation, and with his experience, I knew working with him would be really good for me, and being part of around the store a lot, working with him, and would make a lot of difference in my training.
Sure.
Having him physically be around my workouts and different things like that.
And it really was an emotional decision too.
It was.
Yeah, it was so much history.
Yeah, and I talked to Coach Jeff Beck, and he was happy for me, knowing he knows too that having a coach around, to monitor your training and deal with different things. It's not, and living here in South Dakota, we have different seasons, and having to deal with the winter, and with Coach Becker out there, he's in New Mexico, which is, the weather doesn't change as much compared to here.
Sure.
And having Grant here who can actually change the training a little bit, knowing different things around here,
sure,
is much better. So
very good.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the Des Moines course. I know that you've been looking it over and you've kind of got a plan. Tell me a little bit about what you're thinking going into this weekend.
Going to this weekend, I did a little homework on the course a little bit. I printed up, just been looking at it all through. The first part of the course would be up and down, basically hilly, so the elevation is going to go up a little bit. The first part of the race is Coach Grant and I have been talking, and based on experience and really trying to get the best out of this race, is just to start conservative. Go into this race, it's going to be hilly, the first part of it. So the first 8 miles, 9 miles, basically the first half marathon, we're going to try to cut down and, being basically telling myself, be patient, be patient, be patient. And that's one thing I'm going to try to practice, going into this race, is be patient the first half, and then build up as, progress, because you want to finish a marathon when you're feeling strong. You want to give all the best out there. So basically, start conservative and then build up as the race goes by, because the course is not that easy. So
sure.
Marathon anyway, it's not easy. So
you have to respect the distance.
Yeah.
So even though you're running at the elite level, you sound a lot like a lot of marathoners. You want to start conservative and work into your pace, and then find your race. Let's talk a little bit about hydration and your long runs, and what that's been like in this training cycle, and how you approached hydration previously to now.
I've been practicing hydration based on how the races do their hydration. Something that I never used to do before. I used to go on a 20-mile run, no water, no nothing, not even good, and then I would break down and I won't recover easily. Now that I actually do take water, you accompany me on my runs, and Grant accompany me on my long runs, and giving me the water, my runs are more easier and more, I finish more stronger, and I feel good after that, compared to the past where I used to do the Sioux Falls bike path loop with just no water at all, no hydration, no nothing, no goo or anything. My runs were a little difficult, so that is the part that actually I've benefited from, and trying to do that on this upcoming race would be something special, something different that I'm.
Sure. Some of your advice for some other marathoners out there that might be watching this, that maybe they're going into their first marathon, or their first race in general. What is some of your advice to runners out there?
my best advice is preparation. You cannot just wake up today and decide, okay, I'm gonna do it. You have to get those long run-ins. You have to be very consistent. And the best part of it too is, I always tell people, go out and have fun. It's hard to tell somebody that when they're going to do a marathon. Marathon is hard, but putting the word fun in it is basically try to be conservative, try to, pace yourself. You might be your fast marathon, you go out like I did, go out and run your best half marathon time, but now finish.
Yeah.
It's not what you want out of a marathon. So basically, prepare very well for the race. Basically, go out there, utilize their hydrations. Don't miss all those water stops and stuff like that. Make sure, just go out there and have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun.